find my friends on STO. I am High Executor Kinsha. My friends either call me Natalia or just Kinsha, sometimes Nat. I am a fleet leader for the Protectorate, an armada leader for Tal'Darim Federation and KDF armadas. I enjoy computer games and play STO along with other multiplayer games and single-player games on a daily basis. I am also a Twitch streamer. Twitch name is twitch.tv/GGSFL. So come and join me in game or come and join me in stream.
Hello and welcome everyone to another MMO Anthropology interview. I'm your host Amarist, and I'm here with High Executor Kinsha from the Protectorate fleet in Star Trek Online.
Hi.
So thank you so much for coming along. And as for my first question is generally, why did you choose Star Trek Online for the interview? But at the same time, I'm really curious as to why you chose Ryza, which is where we're at right now. This is the summer event zone on Ryza. I'm going to pan around a little. This is a really lovely little hut here.
Yeah, we tend to find little nice secluded places that have nice atmosphere. You know, I'm really keen when it comes to visuals, so you know, this was a real easy choice to pick out for the interview. It's also has a little bit of the formal flair, you know. It's like you got like, I can imagine even the table being where the rug is. But yeah, to go back to the questions, the reason I chose STO is because STO is really one of the main MMO that I actually play. I don't play many other MMOs, and I don't play many other games that have an avatar that can be conceived as multiplayer, unless you want to consider Minecraft, but that's a different story altogether.
Yeah. How long have you been playing Star Trek Online?
I've been playing, well, I was an original gold subscriber when the game initially came out. I had a different account at that time. And, you know, it was really buggy, really slow. I remember, you know, at the same time I was in the military at the time. So, you know, we don't have a lot of downtime. So when you log in and there is a 2-hour wait for you to start playing, you know, that just will like cause drama for me. You know, not drama, that would just be like, why do I even bother playing this game if I can't play it on my downtime, right?
Right, good point.
So after a month of dealing with all that BS, you know, I left STO. You know, because my friends and I, the reason why we wanted to play STO, we were all Trekkies, you know, we all liked computers, sci-fi, so we're like, hey, there's an STO MMO, so let's go try it out, right? So we all had the same feelings where the servers at that time were just not up to what it needed to fulfill. So gradually, we all left. We all decided to leave the game. Then we noticed that STO came to be free to play, which I came back when it came to free to play. It's like, hey, look, they're free to play. Maybe they learned a lesson. You know, time has passed. You know, whatnot, right? So, and I wasn't about to put down money for another subscription because I lost my initial account because I forgot what the username and password was.
Ouch.
And no problems there. You know, it's like, hey, the company changed hands at the time. You know, I wasn't concerned about the original account. I lost the the TR-116 Alpha though, which I'm pretty upset about that. But you know, hey, I'm not concerned.
That's that gun that transports or shields or something like that.
No. If you're thinking of the B model, the TR-116 Alpha, you didn't need a line of sight.
Oh, okay.
So in a PvP, you could sit behind barrels and take punch shots in them, and they couldn't do anything against that.
Oh, ouch.
The one thing against that, though, it didn't have the shield pen like the new TR-116s do. So overall, they're good bonuses, bad bonuses, good perks, bad perks, whatever. So came to be free to play. I liked what they did. They added a lot more material. I liked the fleet system. I liked how everything was coming nicely together. And then I decided. Then I saw that, you know, hey, there is a lifetime membership sale where it's actually $100 cheaper. So then I decided to, hey, I'm gonna give this another shot. So then I bought my subscription again.
Awesome, brilliant. How about other MMOs? How do you have experience with other MMOs? I think you mentioned, and how do they compare to Star Trek Online?
Well, I don't play a lot of MMOs, because Star Trek Online is really the best MMO that I find that's free to play and also doesn't limit. Like, take WoW for example, right? If you don't start from the beginning, it's going to be a really hard time to get up to where you need to be. One, and two, they got the level cap limit.
Yes.
So, WoW, I wanted to play WoW, but I wasn't willing to put down the $20 a month requirement for it, because that adds up over time.
Oh, yeah.
And I really wasn't. And so then when I heard it was free to play, I was like, okay, it's going free to play, but it's free to play with a limit. So I'm like, you know what? Not worth my time. An MMO I will be playing, though, is Star Citizen.
Ah, yes. I've been following that.
Yeah. I heard that they were going to have private servers, which was a big key for that one, because I have bad experiences from EVE dealing with fleets that are like, hey, we're going to do our own thing, and you know, we don't care what happens. You know, it's like take and it's like, I don't like the idea of when you die you lose everything. I don't like that idea either, because there are a lot of people who put in a lot of resources, a lot of time, only to get attacked
and then lose everything.
In a matter of seconds. I mean, look at what happened with those freighters. It's like, there are whole wars, there are whole battles that, what was it? EVE recently had their the latest battle casualty report, and it cost what, $125,000 equivalent of gear.
Yeah, the Titans Fall event, where a whole bunch of dreadnoughts were destroyed.
Yeah, it's like now think about 125,000. Think about that number for a second. That's like
more than I make in a year.
That's more than I can make in a year. But also, that does like what? That's a half of a price on a good standing house.
Oh yes, yes.
That's your 4 years of college payments.
Yep.
I mean, yes, I understand that it's the overall what everybody lost on the overall scale, but still, you know, it's like that seems to be like just. I couldn't go for that.
Well, now that Star Trek Online is free to play, you know, we're talking about people spending money on games. Do you spend any money on Star Trek Online?
I do. I tend to spend a lot on dilithium, because as a fleet leader and armada leader, I find that a lot of I'm not going to rank on any members, but you know, very few people donate dilithium. Very few people donate the DOFs. You know, and I feel like certain people get stuck with it. And to try to build up the overall morale, I tend to I've knocked them out personally. You know, I've knocked out the when they were doing the special items, you know, where it was like, hey, you get a table for 200,000 dilithium, or hey, do this for 200,000 dilithium. You know, I would knock those out personally, because it would, if someone didn't, it would hold up the other projects.
I see. What do you do on a regular day in Star Trek Online?
Normally what I do is I tend to putz around. I do I do the reputation. I do the DOFs. I did the Armada part at one point, but then I maxed that out too. I used to do the R&D, but I maxed that out. I used to do the specializations, but I maxed that out.
Oh.
So I'm a pretty maxed out character. I have every single spec point. You know, I even have like 20 spec points that need to be put into and when they add stuff in. So now it's like whenever I see someone in like a channel saying, hey, I want to do a ground STF, I need some help. You know, it's like, hey, I'll be happy to help. So a lot of my days are helping other players out and helping the player base out.
Do you play more ground than space?
I do. The reason I do that is because I have had a real bad experience one time with the space. This was before they added the Mark 14 stuff. I had a Mark 12, very rare, everything on my Defiance. You know, phasers were Mark 12, turrets were Mark 11, because I was going for the accuracy at the time. And I spent about like 200 million EC on my build, only for it to be obsolete because of better gear 2 months later.
Ouch.
So then I was like, okay, well then they're gonna do this. So then I would put all my resources on my dilithium to get new weapons, right? And it's like, oh, but now these weapons are obsolete too. Now everything's gonna be. So then I switched to fleet weapons, and then I was like, oh, those weapons are now obsolete. So I'm like, crap. So then they're like, oh, well now you can get all these weapons on the R&D. So I'm like, so it's like they just, space to me, I just find is more of a sink, because they're always adding new stuff and they're always changing and nerfing.
Right, I can see that.
Whereas for ground, it's more stable. Like, I've used my Mako Mark 12 set from Season 5 until I switched out for a TR-116B. You know, and that's recent. You know, that's when they re-added the R&D. You know, so you're talking about 2 years worth of just using the same weapon.
Yeah. Stable, I think, would be the appropriate term for that.
Yeah.
So, how would you say that you use MMOs differently than you do other entertainment, like movies or watching TV?
I like MMOs because I like the I like to be able to talk with people. I do it for the social aspect.
Well, you happen to run a fleet, which goes straight into my next question, which would be, do you have a guild and how did you find it? Did you make the fleet or did you rise up in the ranks? I'm really curious about that.
Well, originally we were called we called ourselves the Omega Squadron. To go at the unit I was with, and one we called ourselves Omega. It's like the first thing you'll never see. So then we renamed ourselves to something else, which I forgot the name.
Oh, it's good.
And we renamed ourselves quite a few times, because you know, sometimes when you think of a name and you think it's perfect for that moment. But then what ends up happening is you end up changing your name. Because when something's perfect for that moment in time, it's not perfect for the remainder of time. So then we renamed ourselves, and then we finally got ourselves to be the Protectorate, which we're an awesome fleet, we're an awesome bunch, and we are recruiting. And we also we have a lot of knowledgeable players in our guild fleet. Especially when it comes to ground and space PvP, ground and space builds, and even hey, I have a problem. I don't know this map. You know, hey, can I get some help? Sure.
What would you say the temperature of the Star Trek Online community is?
It really depends on who you deal with. I have been for the past maybe 2 years. I have had a person impersonate me. Wow. Name and handle. And every day on ESD, she'd be begging for fleet ship modules because she has a baby on the way. Uh-oh. And her handle is actually HKinsha001, and my handle is HKinsha01, and she would have her name as Executor Kinsha. So we've had people, you know, say, even during the winter event, it's like, oh, how's your baby? Or are you not begging for fleet ship modules? And I'm like, that's not even me. Right. So I'm still dealing with the fallout for that, you know, and the devs don't do anything about it. Go figure, right?
So you've run into sort of like impersonation or identity theft inside of Star Trek Online, essentially.
Well, hey, when you're that awesome, who wouldn't want to be me?
So I'm running up on the end of the time that I have for this interview, so I always ask people the same final question, which is, what is your favorite or most memorable experience from an MMO?
Okay, my most memorable experience would have to be from STO. This was before they did the whole R&D thing, and this was before even the reputation system, where you'd had to grind the same missions over and over again, hoping you would get that one very rare drop to complete your 3-piece Mako Mark 12 set or your 3-piece Omega Mark 12 set. And so we start the mission. It's myself, Snake Eyes. Shout out to you if you're around or if you see this. I was allowed to do a shout out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so shout out to Snake Eyes. We miss you over here. You should come back, play Star Trek Online more. So he was, I believe he had full Mark 12 Omega at the time. And there was one other, I do not remember your name. I apologize in advance. So 2 people leave. And, they were like, wait, what's going on? There are only 3 of us left. And so we're doing the mission. It's Kittimer ground. We're running through. And the 3 of us complete the optional and the main mission with still time to spare on the clock. So I have to say, even though people will say that's the easiest mission to do, that's the easiest ground mission, which is for 3 people back in this time era, even before the reputation specialization and all this R&D stuff, it's still going to be a challenge. So that's my most memorable moment.
Brilliant. Well, that's all the time that I've got. So everyone who's listening, thank you so much for coming along to this MMO Anthropology interview. I, of course, have been your host, Amherst, and with me is High Executor Kinsha, who thank you so much for spending the time to speak with me.
Hey, you're welcome, and thank you for having me.
And that's it, everybody. Good night and good dreams.
And catch me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/GGSFL.
Later, everybody.
Laters.
Do you play online games? Do you have Skype? Then we'd love to interview you on Massive Online Anthropology. Join the fascinating thousands who've spoken about their online gaming experience and be the envy of all your friends. Or at least get the MMO Anthropology Geek Merit Badge. Sorry, no t-shirt. See you then!